Sweetie, you forgot to get me my water. Thank you. So what does it take to build and to sustain a house for hope, a home for hope? In these times that are filled with nearly daily assaults to common decency, these days that are filled with moments of cruel indifference, when we're overwhelmed by the evidence of racism, patriarchy, and general meanness, what does it mean to build and sustain a house for hope in these times filled with nearly daily celebrations of goodness and generosity, filled with moments of joy and beauty and wonder, moments of connection? Oh my beloveds, it's exhausting sometimes, isn't it? But it's what we do. It's who we are. It's what we've done, and it's who we've been. It's what we will do and who we will be, regardless of what happens in our nation and in our world. Rebecca Parker and John Burens used the metaphor of a house, a home, to give shape and structure to our occasionally somewhat fluid faith. It starts on the grounds, in the garden, where we affirm the goodness of the earth. Other churches might focus on getting people into heaven. We focus on the life that we have here and now on this precious planet. We celebrate and express gratitude for gifts and blessings that come to us in abundance. Thank you. We commit to doing our part, to care for the earth, to fight for justice and compassion for all her people. Next, they look to the walls, the promises we make to one another, our covenant. We set boundaries and agree to abide by them. The difference between boundaries and barriers is that the intent behind setting a boundary is the desire to connect safely. Our walls, our covenants, need to be strong to keep hate out and hold love in. But always, always, we keep our doors open wide, accessible, so that whoever comes knows that they are welcome and held in that same unconditional love. We have this ethos of radical welcome, radical hospitality that's at the heart of who we are. We have a roof over our heads that protects us from storms. When we're suffering, when we're struggling, this is a place we can come and find shelter and comfort and companions in the struggle. We create safe spaces so that people can be brave and discover that strength that we find on the other side of vulnerability. This place is where people in this wider community come when they are heartbroken. On the night after the shooting in 2015, County Commissioner Tom Lamar called me and said, "People need a place to go to be together. Can you open the church?" I told him, "I'm on my way. I'd pulled over to answer your call." We kept the church open that whole week. And members of this church staffed it. Members of other churches, local churches, staffed it. 2 amazing colleagues from the UU Trauma Response Ministry flew in to be with us during that time. And people came. Not just church members, but everyone who needed a shelter, needed a place to be. The day after the election of 2016, which somehow wound up feeling like a referendum on basic decency, we opened our doors again, and people came. They brought their fear and their anxiety, and we held the space. We decorated prayer flags. We wrapped the whole building in messages of love and solidarity. The children wrote messages of love and support on the sidewalks and the steps leading up to our church. And yesterday, after the Senate confirmed Judge Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court, an act which somehow wound up feeling like a referendum on the right of women to even exist, at least to me. We opened our doors and people came. Because they know that that's what we offer here, shelter and safety and unconditional love. They know that even when things are hard, we'll remember that all the parts of life, even the hard parts, are bearable so long as we keep breathing, so long as we stay together. In the House for Hope that is Unitarian Universalism, we have a foundation. Our faith is built on hundreds of years of history, stones placed by people of goodwill through the ages who each in their own way moved forward our process of collective evolution. They were not perfect. Evolution is messy. But our roots run deep, and they will hold and support us for hundreds of years to come. Now this place, this specific beautiful place, has been a home for hope since 1985 when the congregation first bought it. There is so much love. So much love. It's been polished into the floors and painted onto the walls and stitched into the wall hangings. It's been banged onto the roof. We literally have a solid foundation now, thanks to the generosity of many people who are actually in this room. It's a fun story. In 2011, because they were preparing for a new minister, they decided the church decided it was going to rip up the flooring downstairs and replace it. But when they ripped it up, it was discovered that there was no foundation underneath it. It was a god-awful mess. So people in the church community stepped up. The wider Unitarian Universalist community supported us with a grant. Our local community bank supported us with a loan. And this entire building got jacked up so that a proper foundation could be laid. I'm not making this up. Raise your hand if you were here. Exactly. But you may have noticed that we're starting to run out of space, both here but most especially in the Yellow House where our children attend their programs. And so we invited Rachel here to help us figure out what we should do about that. Rachel?
So I come to you from Edmonds, Washington, where I am a longtime member of the Edmonds Unitarian Universalist congregation. And I am a Unitarian Universalist stewardship consultant, which means I help congregations with fundraising, and I love this work. I have spent the past 36 hours meeting with many of your people, your minister, your staff, your board, the executive committee, a number of other committees, including ministry, finance, membership, and facilities. And I must say, it has been a heart-filling experience. You are caring, courageous, can-do people. You are open, warm, welcoming, and unafraid. You are a whole world of hope. And I'm here with you because you'd like to open your doors wide enough for everyone who would like to come in. Right now, you're bumping into the edges of your built environment, and it's kind of holding you back. And as the reading stated, to thrive, hope requires a home. Only with such a habitation can hope manifest the spiritual stamina it needs to confront evil, endure through trouble, and hold fast to that which is good. You are a home for hope. As one board member put it on Friday evening, you are a congregation that aspires to be radically welcoming. You have seen some possibilities for how you might create more space, more welcoming to all, accessible space, and you've expressed your opinions about what you'd most like to do. And it requires raising some money, a lot of money, in fact, a major capital campaign. And I'm here to say I believe you can do it. Building something to live your mission in its fullness is powerful, soul-expanding work, radically welcoming. Yeah, you can do it. Yes, you can raise money because you hold a vision for who you are and what you want to be, radically welcoming. That means enough seats in the sanctuary and enough heat in the nursery. Radically welcoming means that parents seeking a place for their disabled child will find no impediments to make that child feel less. Radically welcoming means that if you can't navigate stairs, you don't have to go outside and around. Radically welcoming means you have a meeting room when someone needs it and a kitchen that's up to code to feed the community. You are the people who can make this happen. You can make radical welcome manifest. So come to my presentation after this service, because it'll tell you more about why I believe you can do this. And remember that hope rises, and we are its agents. That means rolling up your sleeves and finding the time and the money. You will organize and talk and work and give because you are agents of hope.
Thank you. I need to go off script. Warning. You know, this is not an easy pivot to make. This is a week that has been exhausting and heartbreaking. Like Krista, I am holding so many stories. So many stories. But I know this, that what enables me to get through it is you. I come back here, I see these good people all doing good things with good hearts, this room full of agents of hope, and I know we're going to be okay. We are going to be okay no matter what comes. Now, do I think a change, a new day is coming? I actually do. I really do. I really believe that this is like the death throes of the patriarchy, and we are on the edge. Of what comes after. We don't know what it is yet. We don't know what it looks like, but we're on the edge of it. It is coming. I mean, think about how hard they had to work to do this, right? They had to gerrymander the entire nation. They had to use voter suppression. They had to get the Russians involved with their stupid spy bots. And they still barely squeaked this SOB through the doors. So yes, I know it's a lifetime appointment. I do. I get it. I get it. And something's coming. Something is rising. I'm not going to call it the blue wave because I think it is beyond politics. I think it is deeper and broader and wider than red and blue. I think this is a human wave that is coming, and it is going to wash this crap away. we are done, right? We are just done with this. Which doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Change is never easy. We're all going to have to stretch. We're all going to have to stretch. Not to the point of pain, but to that point of discomfort. Some of you know that I met Rachel actually when I went to Olympia to participate in the Poor People's Campaign. We both chose to do civil disobedience and got arrested, which was actually quite a stretch for me. My family informs me, and I'm actually kind of irritated about this, but they inform me that I am, in Dungeons and Dragons terms, the classic lawful good. I follow the rules even when no one is looking, and that's what lawful good means apparently. Whatever, I kind of want a little chaos. Sure I can't talk you into chaotic good? Yeah. But I stretched. I went to Olympia, and I got myself arrested, and you know why I did that? I did it for you. I did it for you because I knew it would be meaningful in these times for this congregation to participate in the Poor People's Campaign. It would be meaningful for me to be able to bring back what I learned there to all of you. I stretched because I love you. And also because I know you love me. I know you have my back. The thing I know about stretching is that as we do it, our capacity expands. Just as our bodies get stronger and more flexible, our souls get stronger and more flexible, our hearts get stronger and more flexible, our minds get stronger and more flexible. It is our time, dear ones. It is our time. It's time for us to take a leap of faith. It's time for us to build something here that will last. A space that accommodates not just who we are, but who we really want to be. We need a space that can support our shared commitment to radical welcome, our shared commitment to smash the patriarchy. A space where people of all ages and abilities can come and find the love and strength and hope that they need. We still don't know exactly what the space should look like. We're getting there, but there's still some work to do for you to discern that together. But I do know this. I do know this. We will need to be strong to build not just our building, but the world that is worthy of our children. We will need to be strong, and we will need to be fierce, and we will need to be unified. Which means we need to be honest with each other and not hide our hurt or our differences. We'll need to remember just how important this place is. We need to remember that our faith saves lives, our church saves lives, we save lives, and beyond that, we keep hope alive, even and most especially when times are hard. So what does it take to build and sustain a house for hope in these times filled with nearly daily assaults to common decency, filled with moments of cruel indifference and overwhelming evidence of racism, patriarchy, and general meanness? In these times filled with nearly daily celebrations of goodness and generosity, filled with moments of joy and beauty and wonder and connection and accomplishment. It takes people of goodwill who are willing to stretch. It takes a lot of time, volunteer hours that add up to weeks and years. It takes courage and vulnerability and risk. It takes oceans of love and patience and grace. It takes each and every one of us doing everything we can. Oh, it's exhausting sometimes, isn't it? But it's what we do. It's who we are. It's what we've done and who we've been, and it is who we will be and what we will do, and what we do matters. So be it, and so may it be.